Chapter 14. Direct Skirmish. The morning mist curled around the valley slopes, thick and gray, as if reluctant to reveal the events that would unfold. Timber walls, reinforced overnight under Ryden's guidance, glistened with dew. The scent of wet earth mixed with smoke from last night's fires, lingering as a reminder of the Romans' relentless precision. From the tree line, the faint glint of shields and the methodical movement of soldiers hinted at the inevitable. The Romans were approaching. Ryden crouched behind the western barrier, scanning carefully. He had spent the past days anticipating patterns, guiding the tribe, and learning their language in fragments, piecing together cadence and intent. Today, the assault would be different. The Romans were no longer testing, they were striking. Engineers carried heavier rams, shielded mantlets moved forward, and infantry formed tighter ranks, ready to exploit any weakness. He gestured to the tall warrior beside him. "Brace," he whispered in the tribe's tongue. The man's eyes met his, filled with grim understanding. Around them, defenders with long braided hair, arms streaked with blue and red war paint, and bodies adorned with leather straps and furs, adjusted their positions. Spears, bows, and axes were ready, and their painted faces reflected both fear and unwavering determination. Ryden's gaze swept over them. They were southern Britons, steeped in centuries of tribal survival, yet inexperienced against a disciplined Roman machine. The first wave struck with deliberate force. The ram hit the reinforced gate with a dull, echoing thud, shaking the timber. Ryden leapt forward, signaling the tribe to brace wedges, push against weakened sections, and release arrows at exposed engineers. A volley rose in sync with the clash, arrows thudding into shields, armor, and wood. The Romans adjusted instantly, pulling engineers back behind shields and advancing in a continuous, disciplined rhythm. Ryden moved swiftly along the wall, observing the sequence. Every wheel of the ram, every shift in shield formation, every shouted command told him more about the Romans' method. He mimicked the rhythm silently, predicting their moves before they executed them. The defenders followed instinctively, trusting his gestures even when the words failed them. Suddenly, a section of the outer palisade splintered under a coordinated strike. Ryden reacted instantly, signaling to reinforce with additional stones and timber while diverting archers to intercept advancing soldiers. He leapt from platform to platform, checking braces, whispering warnings, and guiding movements. Every action calculated, precise, and anticipatory. His alien mind worked faster than the human body, yet the tribe adapted, forming a rhythm that matched his calculations. The Romans brought a small siege tower forward, its height giving archers a deadly advantage. Ryden's eyes tracked the motion, noting the weight distribution, angles of attack, and potential weak points. He directed defenders to target its base, using fire-soaked bundles and stones to destabilize wheels. Smoke rose as flames took hold, licking at hides and ropes, forcing the soldiers atop the tower to scramble while the ram pressed closer to the gate. Chaos reigned in the narrow corridor between wall and forest, but Ryden maintained focus. He moved like a shadow, coordinating human instinct with his enhanced perception. Each decision was calculated, each movement anticipated. The Romans were precise, disciplined, and unyielding, but he began to see cracks in their efficiency. Minor errors, repeated patterns, and predictable sequences. Every failed maneuver fed into his growing understanding. Hours stretched into an endless surge of strikes and counters. By late afternoon, the Romans had faltered at multiple points, their siege tower damaged, rams slowed, and infantry partially disorganized. Smoke and ash filled the valley, mingling with the scent of damp earth and blood. Defenders breathed hard, muscles straining, eyes alert for the next wave. Yet they held. Timber and stone, guidance and instinct had triumphed. This time. Raiden stood atop the embankment, surveying the battlefield. Beyond the tree line, Roman formations reassembled, signaling adjustments. They would return, stronger, more methodical. He turned to the tribe, noting the sweat. The paint streaked across their faces, the braided hair matted with dirt and ash. They were Southern Britons in every sense, resilient, fierce, and entirely dependent on the rhythm of survival. He had become part of that rhythm, yet still apart, still alien. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the valley, Raiden felt a subtle shift within himself. Memories of where he had come from, glimpses of the stars he once knew, brushed the edges of his mind. The Romans had tested him, and the valley had survived, but his journey was far from complete. Beyond this land, beyond the humans and their conflicts, there was something calling, something familiar, something his mind recognized even before he could name it. And for the first time in weeks, he knew that leaving this place was inevitable. There is always a story to be told out here in the frontier, as long as there is someone to listen, like, and subscribe, and join us again for more.